So I was recently reminded in a really sweet way of how the trickiest things in our life can actually be the greatest gifts, and they're not without the grace of God, to put it that way. It's not without divinity and guidance, even the hardest things that we go through. In fact, especially the hardest things that we go through. So one morning not so long ago, I was sitting on the back deck and I was looking up to the trees and the sky and listening to the birds, and it was an easy place to give gratitude in this peaceful, quiet, beautiful moment. I was living with this beautiful woman at the time, and she prayed every morning on that back deck. So I had a lot of good energy accrued there, and I dropped into this lovely state of peace, even though my life was in shambles and it was a very painful time for me of heartbreak and loss and all sorts of stuff. And there I was, finding this peace and solace and upliftment in the gratitude and appreciation of the beauty of nature. And then my eyes turned towards the road and the noise of the traffic and the cars, and I was like, oh, that's right, like humans kind of ruin everything. Like we put the road over nature and we pollute it with these things. And spirit, my inner being was like, look again, look again. And the beautiful glow and luminosity that was around the trees and nature, like the biophoton emission that's around all living things. And if you relax your eyes enough, you'll be able to see it a little bit one way or another, maybe with color or maybe a white hue or just a luminosity. And so the cars began to have this luminosity. The road started to glow, and I was like, oh yeah, God is in everything. Spirit, source, energy, the love that creates this whole universe is imbued in everything. Everything. And how amazing that these pieces of mechanical mastery have been created, and it's so convenient, it's so empowering, it's so freeing. And yeah, we could go a long way with clean energy. That would be awesome. That's our next step. But the road, the cars, like any resistance I had melted away. And it was a very special moment. And then Spirit was like, you know, the ones that are hardest to love are the ones that need it the most. And the ones that are hardest to love are your greatest opportunity to love. So it's like, instead of looking at your life going, yeah, I can be grateful for my children and my pets and my friends and all this amazing stuff. And then you look at your ex, or you look at the person, your boss, who's really difficult, or you look at someone who's really dragging you down, and you're like, oh, that's right, that's happening. It's like, no, no, no. That is where you hold that presence, that love, that light, because that's where you get to love deeper, unconditionally, not without boundaries, but you get to love more unconditionally than ever before if you let yourself. And that's true freedom, that's true empowerment, and that's true gratitude. That's going to give you joy and upliftment. How good's that? How good's that?